Welcome everybody. Just making sure the audio works real quick. I know you can probably hear the game, just make sure you can hear me. Come on. Maybe you can. Let me know in the chat, because I don't hear myself on the preview. Testing. Oh, okay. Welcome to anyone who's joined so far, if you can hear me. I'm going to pull up the stream on my phone real quick. Alright, you can hear me. Good. Sorry about that. It usually shows me in my own YouTube preview, and it just wasn't, so. Any better jet? We're going to see if the flight works today. For episode 14, we're flying from Vancouver to Seattle. You're slightly quieter than in game? Than the game? Okay, one second. Turn my gain up a little bit, and turn the game down a little bit. I'll just try to do that. Hopefully that works. Let's see, game is at 19%. 16%, there we go. We are doing live weather, live time, everything, which is unusual for the series, especially in the winter and in Vancouver at this time of day. But we're always flying in sunny, clear skies, so we'll do one flight, at least here, in a little bit different weather. We're still going to see plenty. It's a very, very short flight anyway. We're not missing much. We're going to try to see Vancouver a little bit on the way out. We'll turn off autopilot, we'll fly manually, and then we'll join back on our route. Obviously, we're in a 737, not anything smaller, so it's not going to be the easiest to do like little maneuvers to see the city, but we'll try to do a nice, decently low flyover one time. So yeah, we'll try. Looks great in the Air Canada livery. Last time I tried to do the stream, but it wasn't working. I didn't know if Air Canada actually have 737s, but they just got some, so they do. This is a real livery. All right, let's see. Let's get everything started up. See if I can remember how to do this. Not just invert the plane. Yeah, I should. That'd be just fine. All right. I'm an Airbus guy, so we'll just see if I can remember how to do this. There's so much more buttons. Well, I already messed something up. All right. Master power is somewhere under a guard. It's not that one. That's standby power. This big red switch, I imagine. That's alternate flaps. How do I always lose this one? That's what I couldn't find last time I did. No, that's standby power. That must be the real power. Yes, there we go. On. All the lovely sounds. Man, I love that. Standby power is on auto. Alright. Let's go to external power. Ground power on. Now I am going to use the checklist because I don't know this plane that well, but I'm going to try to find everything that I can manually. Just want to make sure I do things in the right order. That's on. That's on. External power is on, so I'm right so far. Let's do the IRSs, which are up here. Let's go to nav mode. Anti-collision lights are off. Hydraulic pumps, let's turn those on. How is 2024 in the long run compared to other sims? It's quite good. They're making huge improvements from when it came out. I had some problems with it launching yesterday. I tried to do the stream and it just wouldn't load in. But to be fair to them, I was on the Sim Update 1 open beta. And now I'm on the stable version, and it works it's working fine so far, so we'll see. No lag. I had some extreme lag the time we did load in, and then I had to try to load in like 6 or 7 times to load in one time. But again, that was the beta. Now that I'm back on stable version, it's working just fine. It's a really detailed sim, and I've been really enjoying it so far. I would recommend it. That's the fuel. We need engine hydraulic pumps, which are... I swear I'll find them. generators, fuel pumps, electrical pumps, engine hydraulic pumps right here. On. Electrical pumps off. Yes. Fuel pumps are off. Trim air is on. That's up here. Isolation valve should be set to open. It is. Left and right circulation needs to go to auto. Engine bleed air is off. Let's load our fuel in here. Let's go to our SimBrief OFP. We need 8 I switched this to pounds, which is great because that's how Flight Sim does their weights by default. So 8,700 pounds. So we don't have to do the conversion. Let's go back to aircraft. Let's go flight performance, mass and balance, fuel. 8,700 pounds. We have 3,400 gallons. Okay. 22,000 pounds of fuel. This is a short flight. We don't need that. 8,700. So let's see. 9,000 divided by 2 is 4,500. So that is that going to do it? Wish it would tell me the total. Not total mass, but total fuel. That's just more than we need, so that's fine. Let's do 20% fuel. Load. Oh, 9,100 now it tells me. Okay. That's too little, so if we do 19%, again, the fuel calculated is with the extra fuel. So I'm trying to be as accurate as possible, but 20% will work just fine. It's just too little, yes, so let's do 20%. Gives ourselves a little extra. Sorry, the backspace key is to switch view to the outside. That's why you're seeing that happen. So 9,100, there we go. Let's go back to our checklists. Aircraft, back. Oh, that's environment. Oh, what is this? Oh, takeoff calculator built in. Alright, checklists, let's see. Fuel quantity is in. Let's set our cruise altitude. Let's come up back to the top. We gotta turn our panel brightness all the way up. We don't necessarily need the orange lights. We do a little bit, but this is very, very hard to read. You can see with the panel brightness off, you just can't even see the number. So let's do that. Let's go to our flight plan again. Our cruising altitude is only 15,000 feet, because we're really not going far. There's going to be just as much setup time as flight time, but sometimes you got to take larger planes for smaller distances to ferry them and stuff, so it's kind of what we're simulating here. We got to get our landing altitude next. I didn't get to that part on the checklist, but I know that is next. We're going to unload this flight. We're going to import the current flight. Here we are. And then we're going to open our chart for the arrival airport, Seattle Tacoma. And the top left, you're going to see the airport elevation, 430. And it's oxygen related, that's what this is doing, so we're going to do 450. You can only do 50, so we'll round up. So pressurize the cabin with the correct oxygen. Let's go back now to the checklist. Done cruising, done landing. Let's turn our passenger lights on. Fasten seatbelts. No smoking. Or / no electronics. It's supposed to be on auto, but I want them on. Let's set our altimeter. Speed running this as much as I can. There's so much to do. Let me open the spreadsheet that I completely forgot to open, which has all of our flight details. Again, if you want to see the spreadsheet yourself, there should be a link directly to it in the description. Or if you join the Discord in the pinned comment, there's a Tour the World channel that has the spreadsheet link and all the photos we take during our adventures and stuff. So, CYVR is the airport we're at now, Vancouver. CYVR. Altimeter is 29901. Standard is 2992, so we're almost there. There we go. That was not hard to set. Let's go back to the checklist. That's done. Let's turn on the left fuel pump, which controls the APU, as well as the left side engines and everything. Can't remember if we need the forward. We just need the left fuel pump, I believe so. Left aft fuel pump. No, we do need the left full system on for the APU. So start the APU now, which is right here. Let's hop out and make sure it's working. do a walk around here at the same time. Just watching an aircraft maintenance video of this plane, so it's crazy to see it again now in real life. Looks awesome. We can hear the APU starting as well. Love the Air Canada livery. There's the APU exhaust. And the exhaust of the APU coming out the back. Or the inlet, I should have said first. That's what we're looking at first. APU is set. APU generator switches on. We will wait a moment to make sure they're available. Is it available? Let's hear if it sounds like it's ramping up. Kind of does. There's no screen that tells you the APU status in a Boeing 737 MAX. It's really, really not a great thing. Let's do our flight control test here. They're not working. Interesting. Ah, now things are connected now. Okay, well it's working for sure. Landing gears down. Alright, the APU will be ready by now. So let's turn on the APU generators. Yes, here we go. It's available. On and on. Let's turn off the external power, which is here. Ground power off. Let's see. APU bleed now needs to come on, so the bleed air starts working. Right there. So I remember where things are now. Takes a while. Flight director's on. Boom. Boom. Auto throttle is off. Yes. Gear is down. Speed brakes are down. Throttle's closed. Start levers are cut off, which is these. Parking brake is set. Yaw damper will come on now, which is way, way, way up here. There we go. Even stuff like that, small stuff like that, it wouldn't work yesterday. The yaw damper just wouldn't come on for some reason. So yeah, this is working way better. I'm happy I switched it here. Alright, we're ready for engine start, but we're not actually ready for engine start. Let's talk to ATC clearance. Let's request clearance for our flight plan.
Vancouver clearance delivery, Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 401.
Oh, great.
To copy IFR clearance to Seattle.
08 or maintain 900 feet. Departure frequency is 132. Tree squawk tree 376.
We're going to ignore ATC once we're in the air because the altitudes they give us are going to be absolutely garbage, but
Maintain 900 feet departure frequency.
we will listen to them for now.
Tree
We can get to the takeoff.
376 Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011.
Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011 read back correct. Contact ground on 127. 15. Good day.
Okay, go tune to ground. I'll do a couple more things before we continue with ATC. Let's move our ATC window over here and close it. Let's go to SimBrief and look at some more charts. Our takeoff chart. First, let's look at what runway we're taking off. Obviously, we usually have done the FMS by now. I think I skipped that part of the checklist, but the APU can be running for that. That's fine. Let's see what runway we're taking off. View. 8 right. So let's look at the chart. For 8 right, yeah, this is not the normal order I do, but it's okay. 083. So let's set our heading here to 083. Make sure my refresh rate settings are fine here. Where's my video graphics? Where's my frame rate target? Let's switch that up a little bit there. Whoa, not low, please. Ultra. Oh, I need to reset. That's fine. As long as the refresh rate has changed. Is that going to help with that? No, it's not. Okay, that's just the plane then. 083. There we go. Let's do our FMS setup, which is a little bit late, but that's okay. initial reference. We need our flight plan up here. 0 fuel weight should be calculated for us. Thank you. Reserves don't matter. Cost index 18. Cruise altitude is automatically calculated at 13,000, but we're going to change it to 15,000. Oh, trip and cruise out. There we go. Cruise wind is going to be 220 at 14. Why is that invalid? It wants the heading first. That is the heading first. 014, maybe it wants. What? Okay. Oh, right. Cruise wind doesn't work yet on this plane. Or at least on the not open beta. Right. Transition altitude is correct. N1 limits correct. Let's calculate the trim. Let's set 5 degree of flaps. Calculate the V speeds and the trim. Execute that, and I know the V speeds are going to get deleted. There they go. They're on the speed tape. We need to go to departure arrive. Departure runway 08 right. Oops, it already was 08 right. I do want the STNL E5 Stanley 5, I guess, to SID. I know it's not on the flight plan, but I do want that. I've already looked at it. Takeoff speeds are deleted, I know. Let's just go to here, here, and here.
Vancouver ground, Jazz 8268.
Add that to our flight plan here.
Request pushback.
Jazz 8268 Vancouver
There we go.
ground.
Departure has been
Pushback
added.
approved.
Although we probably won't really follow the departure since we're going to try to fly over Vancouver. But this actually does fly over Vancouver, which is
Vancouver
perfect,
ground,
so
Jazz
never mind.
8268. Requesting pushback.
We won't have to go off of the path here. We'll just look out the window.
Vancouver ground, Jazz
Arrive.
8268. No pushback tug is available to answer your request.
16 left. We are taking the Mariner 8 star with the Rosa
Vancouver ground, Jazz
transition.
8268 with Alpha ready to taxi
Execute
IFR.
that. And then let's go
Jazz
back to our
8268 taxi to and hold
performance
short of runway
numbers.
08. Our via taxiway
Recalculate the
Foxtrot,
V
Charlie
speeds.
Foxtrot, Delta 5 Delta Echo Golf Charlie Juliet Lima cross runway 13 Lima Lima 6.
And then we'll
Contact
quickly
tower
go
on 118. 7 when ready.
2 legs. We're almost done here. Switch it over to plan mode. See that we are automatically not
Taxiing hold
good
short runway
here.
08 or via taxiway Foxtrot, Charlie Foxtrot, Delta 5, Delta Echo Golf, Charlie Juliet Lima Cross, runway 13 Lima Lima 6 Jazz 8268.
Oh, it's vectors. Okay, so let's just set in the... We're taking off. That's not from the runway. What? What? Why? Is that like that? That's fine, but why are we taking off from our gate? What? Departure arrive. It's all in there correctly. That's fine. We'll just take off and we'll join the path when we can. That's fine. Let's go to step 3 of the plan. Rest of the plan looks pretty nice. Let's go back to the correct map view then. Let's bring it all the way in and turn on data. Oops. Waypoint info. No data I want. And then reach over here, turn on airports. There we go. We're basically ready to go, I think. Let's check the checklists. Yeah, we're ready for engine start, so beautiful plane is ready to go. Let's request our pushback clearance.
Vancouver ground, Boeing Mike Hotel, Alpha 4011 gate 5 tree information Alpha. Request pushback.
Let's start the beacons.
Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011 Vancouver
Beacons
ground.
on,
Pushback approved.
logo light on, wing light on. And they approved our pushback, so now we're also going to start the engines. So we need to set the ignition to right, switch this to ground. I'm going to use all P for pushback. There we go. Because the request did not start the pushback. What site did you get the Air Canada delivery from? I got it from flightsim.to. There's not too many available for FlightSim 2024 yet, but there's a few. There's United, Southwest, Air Canada. So yeah, I would definitely recommend checking that out. Parking brake is off. No, it's not. I don't know how they're... Oh, they're actually picking me up like they should. There we go. Please push me back. Now it's sideways. I'm missing a step in the engine start, I'm imagining here. Yes, I definitely am. I usually turn all my fuel pumps on at once, and I didn't this time, so... As I wasn't supposed to, but I usually do. So I forget I gotta do that. There was no fuel going to the engine. Oh, and the hydraulic systems. The fuel wasn't even the problem yet. It would have been. So let's do it right. Hydraulic systems need to come on. Electrical systems, I mean. Fuel pumps are on. External power is off. Beacons. Position lights to steady. Left and right packs need to come off now from auto, right? And now I can start the engine. Ground. No, that's the wrong one. That's on ground. That's on start. There we are. What is this pushback doing? I just got pushed into a vehicle. Let's end the parking brake on and then pushback right there. We're going to turn our plane around ourselves. What is that? There we go. Engine's starting to spin up. Let's give it some fuel. Beautiful. I'm going to pull up the overlay real quick and type the information of the airports into that. So one moment. It's off camera. So then when the flight is going, I can turn that on, even though it's a short flight. CYVR to KSEA. There we are. Let's start up the other engine. Oh, my bad with the view. Ground, ignition left. You can see it starts to come up. You watch the N1 percentage, N2 percentage, right? The turbine starts to spin with the bleed air. And you wait for it to spin up, wait for it to spin up. Gets to about 19-20% here, I believe, and then it gets to about 3% thrust. Or not, motoring it says, there we go. And then you give it fuel. Right, like that. Oh great, the vehicle's right in it, perfect. Request for taxi.
Vancouver ground, Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011.
Check our flight controls are free and clear.
Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011 taxi to and hold short of runway 08 or via taxiway 6 Juliet Lima cross runway 1 Tree Lima Lima 6. Contact tower on 118. 7 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 08 or via taxiway 6 Juliet Lima cross runway 1 Tree Lima Lima 6 Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011.
Let's see if I can follow their instructions. It's not always clear, especially at this airport. We'll see. Taxiway Juliet Lima. Oh yeah, they gave me good ones this time. I gave a pretty simple starting point on purpose for that reason. Let's zoom that in on there. And let's close that. We're good to go. Let's flip on our taxi lights. And let's begin this trip. Throttle up. Parking brake is already off. My bad, I just turned it on. Give the rudder a full test on both directions, and which also tests the tiller, the thing that actually turns the nose wheel. And now give it some more power. Let's clear our warnings there. Let's run startup. Just keep it nice and slow while we turn the aircraft all the way around. Because the tug couldn't do what it was supposed to be doing. See yourself on the map there. This is a sim brief, by the way, Navigraph, if you don't already know. The flight planning that I just did all there is all free to use, and you can implement it in your game just like this for free. The actual map charts here with the moving map feature and everything, that is paid. Look at Embraer E2. That's cool. Thank you, Gerther, for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate it. If you're in the stream right now. Nice to have you here. Thanks everyone for joining as well. You joined at the good time because we did all the pre-flight, which let me check the stream. Took about 26 minutes, but that's actually pretty good. And some of that was like loading in and stuff. So just a 20-minute free flight for a 737. Not too shabby. Oh, we got a line up here. What is this? I do have pedals for the rudder, by the way, not official rudder pedals. I'm using a Logitech G920 racing pedals. It used to require some third-party software to make them work in the game, but in 2024 they just work right off the bat, which is perfect. Alright, well, taxiway Juliet is occupied. It's right here, but these are not in line. They're just... well, they are turned on, I think. They're just AI traffic though, so I'm going to go around them and have to go right through their wings, unfortunately, but that's how flights I miss sometimes. This flight's very, very short, so just for the new people joining, this is my Tour of the World series. We're, as it sounds, touring the entire world, but in a very detailed manner. We are like taking the long way, stopping at lots of airports, seeing every landmark we can think of in the entire world. We've done the entire southern half of Canada, which has taken probably about 50 hours of streaming so far, and now we're finally going to start the US. So this is our first flight from BC to Vancouver to Seattle. I'm taking taxiway Juliet right here by accident. Look at that, I'm going to get a pilot deviation. Too late now though, I'm going to turn up here. Distracted myself. So this flight, sorry, long answer, this flight's very short because we're just hopping from Vancouver International to Seattle, which is just across the border essentially. But we do some longer flights on this series. There's been a couple ones that were a couple hours. Alright, Simbrief, please don't mess up right now, I need you. All the text went smaller, which is great. Moving maps turned off, just fully refresh itself. I know we're going the wrong way, but we'll fix it here. Reset the view. We'll turn on hotel. Luckily we're not on VATSIM. And then we'll go up to Lima. We're supposed to be there. Oh, I shouldn't go outside. I forget that's what sometimes resets Simbrief completely. Anything on the tablet just gets reset. It's horrible. Yeah, let me not do that again. And then the lag comes from opening Simbrief for the first time. Because like I said, it resets completely. I gotta pull up the tablet again. Come on. Alright, let's just keep it open while I taxi. More power, come on. Yeah, once I take off, I'll turn on a little progress bar on top of the screen so you'll be able to see how far we have to go. But again, this is quite a short flight. Then we're going to take a smaller plane from Seattle, Washington over to Forks, Washington. Which again, we're seeing all landmarks, big and small, and Forks, Washington is like the home of Twilight, so it's pretty known about place for how small it is. And that's like the furthest northwest landmark or landmarks type esque thing that I can think of in the U.S. And then we're going to be flying from there over down to Portland, Oregon. Not sure if that third flight will be on the stream or not, but it might. All right, let's go to taxiway Lima here. Let's start to set up for takeoff. Let's put our speed brake on armed. I believe that's actually down on this plane. Oh, I gotta pay attention to taxi. Hold on. We already were cleared to cross the runway. 13. So not have to worry about that. Let's do a little check anyway. I can see someone down there on the runway. But it's flight sim, so let's just keep rolling. Let's turn our runway turn off lights on. Give a bit more visual. Zoom into the speed brake. Let's go to armed. There we go. Armed. Let's go to the speed brake. Auto brake, sorry. Set it to RTO, rejected takeoff setting. Now we just have Lima. Sorry, when I move the camera around, I lose all my flight control, so that's why I'm off track. Because it just locks whatever direction you were heading. There we go. Oh, look at that takeoff over there. Sweet. Man, it is gloomy right now. What else do we need to do? We got rejected takeoff, we got speed brake set. We need a TCAS system to be on. Let's hope that it keep it going straight. I just click something. Where is it? Where is it? I need the panel brightness first. Are we still going straight? Yeah, we are. Someone's gonna turn right into us, I think, right here. Great. Where's my squawk code? Here we go. TARA. Boom. Set the squawk code. Done. This is gonna be a problem, sir. Thank you for going the other way. Sorry, I realized my camera is blocking that map mostly, but it's nothing too crazy. It's just the airport chart with the moving map feature. So I can see myself on it. Let's check what ATC said to do in terms of what holding point. Lima 6. We're going all the way to the end, alright? I did set my speed on there. Let me quickly check. My V speeds. 141 is my V2 speed, so I need to go to here. Set my speed to 151. There we go. Almost to the runway. So tempted to go into external view, but I know it messes up, so I won't. So yeah, you can get to the runway right there as well. But we have to take the long way. I'm sorry, I gotta reset my view and stop touching my view for a second so I can control the tiller. Actually, go where I need to go here. Set idle power. Alright, let's hit the park brakes. And that guy's just taking off ahead of us. Yeah, Q800, I believe. Let's open our charts. Let's go to the departure. So this is our departure. Should be programmed in. And let's do the most important thing here. Let's request takeoff clearance. Tune tower. Should have already done that a second ago. Let's request takeoff clearance.
Vancouver Tower,
Turn on our
Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha
turn off our wing lights.
4011
Turn off our
at
logo
runway
light.
08 are ready for departure
Let's turn off our
IFR
on our
Seattle.
landing lights.
Jazz 8151, contact Vancouver departure on 132. Tree. Good day. Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011, hold short runway 08R. Traffic is generic on final.
Still got my hold short clearance.
Hold short runway
That's
08
what I'm doing.
are Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011.
Everything else looks fine. I got no messages on the screen. So we're just waiting.
132, Tree Jazz 8151.
Hope they don't forget about us because it's flight sim ATC. There's the Vancouver Bay. Again, we keep these markers on during our flights for this series just because we are sightseeing, so it's nice to know what we're looking at.
Air Canada 2 Tree 7 contact ground on 121. 7. Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011 altimeter 29er. 901 traffic
2991.
is generic on final. Cleared for takeoff
Park and break
runway
off.
08R.
Start rolling.
Clear for takeoff runway 08 are Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011.
There we go. Let's see how well this
Air
goes.
Canada 207 follow the aircraft on final. Wind 074 at 7. Cleared to land runway 08R.
Oh, okay. Well, we need to get going now because someone just got cleared to land here.
Cleared to
I didn't hear how far they were
08
final.
are Air Canada 207.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna keep it rolling the whole time then.
121, 7 Air Canada 2 Tree 7.
Let's just keep going. Let's roll right into the runway and take off immediately. We're all configured, so
Vancouver Tower flare 60124 miles east inbound.
okay.
ILS
60%
runway
power
08
or so,
approach.
50%. Let's get a bit more stabilized here.
Vancouver Tower.
All right, toga power.
901 cleared ILS runway 08
Oh,
approach.
thank you. That's bad. That was bad of me. Did forget one thing pretty major. Flaps. But they're going now to take off.
Cleared ILS runway 08
Sorry, I'm all over the runway because I was
60.
focused on that. Let's rotate. That's my bad. I've never done that before. The trim is horribly set to. Let me set the trim. You're up. Wow, that was not a great takeoff, but the trim is set to like a negative setting. There we go. Which I didn't configure properly. Gear is up. Let's turn to the right here.
Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011 contact Vancouver departure on 1 Tree 2. Tree. Good day.
I saved it though. We got in the air.
132, Tree Boeing
This wasn't
Mike
the most
Hotel
beautiful.
Alpha
Just got a
4011.
TCAS warning. Traffic warning there. It's tune departure and contact.
Vancouver departure Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011 is passing 2,200 feet, descending 900 feet.
This flaps up.
Boeing Mike
Flaps
Hotel
2.
Alpha 4011 Vancouver
flaps
departure
1.
altimeter 29er. 901 radar contact continue.
And flap 0.
Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha. Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011 descend.
Let's keep turning till we get on our line here.
400 feet.
To acknowledge it, we're going to completely ignore ATC from now on.
Descend and maintain 2,400 foot Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011.
Nav is on.
Boeing Mike Hotel Alpha 4011
Set for
your
15,000.
transponder appears inoperative or malfunctioning. Reset squawk tree 76.
Our actual cruising altitude is 15,000. Let's close the ATC and then, like I said, turn it off as we usually do on this series if they start giving us terrible instructions. It's the advantage of being on VATSIM. We can't do a lot of things on this series on VATSIM just because of the nature of our flying for sightseeing. We're not exactly following the rules most of the time. And not the best weather for sightseeing, but hey, we haven't done one like this in a while, so. Let's go ahead and switch to the other camera. 1 second. There you go. We're climbing nice and quick. Let's set the, okay. Let's set the throttle down to climb. Actually, no, that's not a thing. This is just auto throttle on. It's going to come back to climb thrust. It is cloudy, but here we go. Look at that. Oh, I love this game. Yeah, we don't play with weather enough to enjoy this stuff. Truly. Wow. That is just crazy. I can't see much of Vancouver, man. So I actually want to do this in real life so much sooner. Let's go ahead and close this. Let's go ahead and turn our wipers off. Landing lights off. When we turn off lights off. Taxi off. Everything. APU should have already come off, but that's okay. It's off now. Logo lights are off already. Okay, all those lights are fine. Passenger lights are remaining on while we're climbing. Usually turn them off at 18,000. We're not getting to 18,000, so we'll just do it at 15. Why are we not on our course here? What's going on? What is going on here? Legs. Can we turn the flame, please? What's going on? Flight director's on. Why is it not following course? Now it looks like it is. Let's watch your 320 series, and for the descent there's no altitude constraints on my arrival and no star approach. So I don't know altitude to go and where. I would look at, you're not doing an ILS approach. So if you're doing an ILS, you want to look at that altitude, the final altitude, and do those calculations before. But without a constraint, I would just say by 10 miles, be at like 3,000, 10 miles away from the airport. So look at how far you have to the airport, minus 10, and be at 3,000 by then, but the latest. That's what most ILS approaches are. They start at, you're 10 miles out, and you have to be at 3,000. So if you don't have that, then that's what I'd recommend. Okay, I gotta go back to my settings on this. I don't know why this settings got reset. It did like a hard reset where it changed all the font sizes and everything. Ugh. Look at this. Scale. No, how do I change the font again? I don't even know. Alright, well, flights. We're doing ILS. I'll try to read this. It's hard for me to read just like you. ILS 16 right, there it is. And we're doing the Florida Caribbean area. Absolutely, we're gonna fly everywhere in the entire world. So again, if you click the link in the description, you'll see all the flights that we've done, which I know it's all just Canada and now just northern US. And we're going a long time, but it's because we're doing it in extreme detail. We're taking pictures everywhere, seeing everything we can, usually in clear weather, so it's not going to be like this most of the time. Which means we will see everything. So if you have anywhere specific you want me to see there, certain airports or fly over certain landmarks, then feel free to throw it in the Discord, and I'll make sure to do that specifically. But I will be over that area no matter what anyway. Thank you so much. Great series. It's helped me a lot. This is very confusing. Thank you, Ben. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot. Alright, so here we are. We're basically halfway there already. So I really got to find out what we're doing here. 1 second. We are doing the Griffey ILS 16. I can't find it there. I just need the ILS chart in general. It doesn't matter. The plane has the right data, so that's fine. I know you can't read these things. I can't read them either. I'll have to fix that as soon as I can. I hope this is what we're doing. Okay, we're doing Griffey here. And then flying to Helzer. There we go. Hi, Gamer Matthias. How you doing? Let's turn our range up here. There we are. See all the waypoints. Griffey. Is that correct? Douglas, Carfo. Yes, okay, perfect. We need to look at this real quick. We have to be at... Griffey is 6,000, okay. That's all I need to worry about at first, so... Let's set the altitude for 6,000 and let it calculate, and then we'll just do our manual calculations as we do to confirm it, but it has worked in the past pretty well. I might tell it to go down a bit earlier than it wants to. So we set our altitude to 6,000. In fact, it knows constraints. Maybe I set it lower to the final altitude here. Top of descent, it thinks is right there, okay. Let's set it for 19 and see what happens, 1900. It should theoretically follow all the waypoint recommendations, so we'll just continue to make sure it does. Okay. Beautiful. Let's go back. Let's go out there. So to get through here, you can't open the door. That makes you go outside. You have to use your quick view buttons, which I don't know what they are on keyboard. I tried to do it on keyboard. I have it on my yoke, and I could just spam it, and it kind of glitches through. So I'd recommend looking at how to do that on keyboard, because I honestly don't know. But you can get into the 737 cabin, even when it's the luxury, like private jet version, which is great. You can hang out in the private area. See some wing shot here. You hear rattling and see the wing flex. It's super cool. It's very well done, this game. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What is going on? What is going on here? Autopilot? What happened? Say it's very well done, this game, and then that happens. But I'm curious if something on my yoke triggered like an autopilot disconnect. Trim the nose down. Hold on. Let's do some stall recovery here. Oh, we went to 1,900 feet immediately. What happened here? Oh, we're at 17,000, not 1,900. Thank God. I thought we were about to be done for. Is there a way you... Yes, if you did the passenger, like, ground services and request boarding of passengers, it would actually show up. The passengers would actually show up. I have a 4070 Ti. Wow, that was a lot. Turn autopilot on here. I'm gonna turn off VNav. Can we not stall, please? Auto throttle. I'll let it control itself for a sec. No. I'm quite confused at what's going on with that. Oh, I see. We're facing the wrong way on our waypoint, so let's do a full turn. Yeah, we fully stalled out. Wow. That's just insane. Are we? CYR. Yes, we are. All right. I don't even know what happened. Flaps were not set. Like, nothing should have done that. At least we got a cool view. Wow, that was interesting. Alright. We'll stay in the cabin from now on. Zoom in, we gotta get on course here. Oh gosh, I can see myself, that's weird. Oh right, I used quick view by accident, I switched seats. There we go. I think that did it. Yeah. Alright, let's just do some manual things here 1 second. Let's our heading bug straight on about there. Let's go to heading select mode. Autopilot on. Set our altitude to 15,000. Trying to make sure it doesn't stall again. Set it for 15,000, which is our cruise. And then vertical speed massively down, please. 2,200 a minute or so. 2,500 a minute. And we'll figure out the top descent and all that stuff manually in a moment here. Let's try to get back on course. You have to drag your mouse and it makes it. Yes, if you want the way I have it, hit escape, go to settings, go to flight interface, and then cockpit interaction system. Go to legacy. That's how it was in the old flight sims. I don't like the new one. It's more meant for like being compatible with controllers and stuff like that. All right, let's try to get down to 15,000 at least, and then we got to figure out actually get down to the required altitude. So let's look at the charts. I'm gonna do this a lot more manually now. By Griffey. Let's close this like that. I don't even see Griffey on here, okay. Mariner, Boan. Where are those things? I think that's that one. I really can't see this. I gotta fix I can't remember how to fix that view. There's 6,000. There's Griffey. Okay. Good to know. We're not on heading select anymore. I've asked it to go back on course, please. Auto throttle is on. We are in idle power, so we're trying to get down to 2,000. But it's struggling to keep its speed. It's going too fast, so let's set our spoilers. Of course, it's not the most fuel efficient, but that's not what we're worried about right now. The engines are idle. There's our spoilers there. Trying to fix the massive problem that we had. Man, that was interesting. Alright. So it wants to be at 11,000, 8,000, then 6,000. So 12,000 first though, so let's focus on that. Let's go down to 12,000. We have 11 miles to lose 3,000. We only need 9 to lose 3,000, so I need my calculator real quick. Ground speed is 264. It's 5. So we can go down at about 1,100 a minute now. Let's say 1,200 to be safe. Just get us back on track. We don't have to be going down as fast. Once we see that it starts to power up to keep its speed, then we're going to lose the spoilers. There we go. It's powering up. So there's less drag. Now it's powering back down. Alright. We were on track. I don't know what happened. It must have been some kind of hotkey problem when I went back to the cabin. That caused all of that mess. Like disengage autopilot or something like that. I have no idea really, but we're back here. Try to enjoy the view, at least. Take a screenshot. There's not much sightseeing, but it is pretty. We were taking pictures along this whole trip and sightseeing as we go, kind of like you would as an actual tourist. I'm keeping all the photos on the Discord, so if you're interested in seeing what we've taken so far, then check that out in the pinned comment. There's a channel dedicated to the series, Tour the World channel. And you can see a message at the end of each episode that has the overview of what flights we did and the photos that I took. So then you can do the flights yourself as well. And of course in the spreadsheet is the more detailed information of every single flight we've done. This is number 42, which is pretty crazy. We have a lot more to come, that's for sure. It's the very first flight landing in the US. Top of descent is here. Let's set it for 1900 and turn on VNAV. And we'll watch it. If it doesn't work, we'll do it manually. I don't know if it was VNAV that messed up or something we messed up that made that big problem, so we'll just keep a close eye on this. It wants to be at 263 knots, that's fine. We're at 12,000, which is what I set at the 12,000 marker. I don't see the top of descent marker anymore though. Set for 1900, autopilot's on. LNAV and VNAV is on. Something I'm going to set now before I forget. We need to look at our ILS chart. And see the frequency is 110.3. So let's go back to our radio panels here. 110. Let's turn the brightness up so you guys can see it. 110, that didn't help much. 3. And then switch, so it's active. And 110.3, oops. 1103, and switch it so it's active, there we go. I want speed 11,000 here and it's not doing it, okay, good to know. Let's do this manually ourselves. Vertical speed minus, say 1200, and then we'll figure it out ourselves. Once I start to understand plan more, I will definitely try your route. Yeah, I'd recommend it. There's a lot of good flights on there. And if you see one you're interested in the series, you can just go back and look at that spreadsheet and see what the airports were and everything, which is helpful. All right, so we need to be at 8,000 by then. I'm gonna pause this in for a sec. It's not. VNAV is not working on, which is unfortunate, but I need a little second here. So if you want to be 8,000, we're at 11. Minus 8, we need to lose 3,000, so we need 9 miles. and we only have 7. So our ground speed is 301, times that by 5, times that by 1.5, and we need to go down at like 2100 feet a minute. So let's resume that. And I know that's going to require some speed brake, so let's just do that in advance here. 2100 should only require a little bit, maybe like that. Just watch the thrust. No, I guess it doesn't. If it's able to give power, then it definitely doesn't need brakes. You don't want to be holding the brakes essentially and the gas at the same time, if you think about it like a car. Yeah, now our speed is pretty stable. It's climbing a little bit, but bringing that speed brake like a little tiny hair back like that. We should be able to hit 8,000 in time. I'm actually going to bring this up to 6,000 to make sure we don't drop below that. Since we're doing this manually, we're not using VNav. We're doing the whole thing manually. 6,000. So yeah, we're aiming for 8,000 here, but that's just aiming for. We don't actually need it for sure. Let's do another thing. Let's go check the weather at the airport that we're arriving at. It's KSEA. Altimeter is 2990, so let's set that. It's only 1 inch off. There we go. And then also, let's go to SimBrief chart. So I'm doing everything quickly here because this is definitely more rushed than normal. Let's see what are our minimums. I can figure that out here. Straight in, Cat 1 ILS. So your minimum decision height, 1 second. Cat 2, Cat 3. 100, I think, radio. I think I'm still learning how this works. I think 100. If we switch it to barrel, or if we switch it to radio, I think it's 100. I don't know. That doesn't matter too much technically. In-flight's in the minimums, but I will set them if I can. I hate this dial. It tries to help you by speeding up if you do a bunch of changes. Okay, 7 miles. To lose 2,000. Only need 6, so our ground speed is 280 times 5. We only got to go down at 1,500. We can slow that descent massively. Hello? Oh, we're already there. Okay. Oh yeah, we're going to 6,000, not 4. By Griffey. That's good. So our minimum, our radio needs to say 100. I can't make it do that though, easily. Okay, I gotta click it down very slowly now. I hate this thing. Changing this number right here, by the way. A little more, a little more. Come on. If I do it quickly, then it just jumps way down. 2 more. There we go. Radio 100. I think that's correct. Not for sure, honestly. And we're coming in. Here we are. Griffey, 6,000. We're at 6,000. I'm going to do landing lights and stuff early. The stuff that I don't need to do right now, I'm going to do early. All the lighting. Because honestly, I cannot do that while we're landing. That's why you have 2 pilots. Like while I'm doing all the elevation manually, I mean. So we need to get to 4,000 by Helzer. Yep. We're just about at Griffey, so it's set it to 4,000. We're going to lose 2,000 in... We need 6 miles to do it, and we have 7. Ground speed is 262 times 5. Let's do minus 1,300. Should lose it in time. And minus 1,300, we don't need any speed brakes to keep us at the right speed. Idle power will do just fine. In fact, at only minus 1,300 feet per minute, it still actually requires some power to hold that. Just not very much. And then we need to be at 3,200. And then 1,900. Okay, that's really, really rapid, so I'm going to switch to 1,900 now. And we're going to continue at the same descent rate and see, calculate it differently if needed, but If I overshoot, if I go lower than needed, that's fine. It's not a constraint. It's just the altitude that you have to be at least by then. So I'd rather be at it early. INSQ. INSQ, good. The ILS is the right frequency. That's very great. I have 1 mile. Let's go down a little faster here. Am I overflying a different airport? I guess I am. Alright. Oh yeah, there's another airport there. I think it's the Boeing airfield, or one of them is. That's around here. So we'll continue the same descent rate. We have to be at 1900 by Douglas. That's the most important one. So let's just ignore Carfo, 3200. That's 4 miles plus 1. We have about 5 miles. 3,000. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of calculations in my head as fast as I can. Out loud, but not really well. Alright, we need to start setting some flap speeds here. Set flaps 1 and landing gear down. Times 3 is for the 3-degree slope, that's correct. It still wants to do full speed, that's interesting. I might tell it to go a little slower. I need to have things happen a bit slower here. We're much closer to the airport than it looks, which is also throwing me off. We're overflying another airport right now. There's the ground outside the window. Oh, this is always stressful. Let's set it all the way for 140. Quickly, let's go to this reference page. We are landing at 40. We need to be at 130. We have 40 degrees flaps. We don't need 40 degrees, do we? No. Let's set the auto brake to 2. Let's set it for 133, and we'll do 30 degrees of flaps. Set that now. Or, okay, 2 more clicks. Let's not set it all the way. Actually, we're almost at 133 already. That's fine. So 30 degrees of flaps. That's our final landing configuration. Auto throttle is on and everything. Let's turn the HUD on. This is going to be an autopilot landing. Cat 3 landing, I imagine. Both autopilots are on. Minimums are set, altitude set, everything is good. Cool, come on, we just got a gust of wind that threw our speed way down. Come on, autopilot. You got it. Please handle this, because absolutely no visibility right now. So that's the Boeing airport right there, I believe. Oh, look at all these planes. Yeah, this is going to be a rough one, I think, with this wind. This visibility, we got traffic warnings. Oh yeah, right in front of us. That's going to be interesting. We're going to like collide with them, I believe. They're going to be right out our window, that's for sure. We'll see if I can disengage autopilot in time to take over. Obviously, if I can see. Otherwise, we'll let it do an auto land. I know it does flare. We've tried it once. It flared a little nicer than the Boeing on us. Well, we're not going to land, actually. I did not do a very essential thing. Let's go around real quick. So focused on everything. I missed one thing that was very essential. Let's disengage autopilot. Gear up. Full thrust. We're going to go around, but not in the correct way. We're going to essentially just turn around. Coming again. I didn't arm the approach, so we weren't going down past 1900 feet. That's my bad. And I was so focused on making sure all the small details were set, I forgot about the pretty major one. I mean, the most major one. Well, I guess no reason to ruin all this configuration. Let's keep Keep the speed. Auto throttle on. Keep it at 133. Let's just do heading selects. Back to 1900. We'll keep
Sync rate.
bring it up to 140, 150 knots.
1000.
Come on, auto throttle. What's going on here? Alright, we're gonna take over from autopilot. Oh, autopilot's not on. That would do it.
Glide slow.
Auto throttle, but not autopilot.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
I'm a great
Glide
pilot.
slow.
This is going so
Glide
well.
slow. Glide 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 slow.
Hey, at least I can fix it. We're not gonna crash here. Let's go up slightly. Let's bring it to 1900 slowly. Heading. Let's go over here. We're staying at the final approach altitude, so that's why we're so low at 1900. Well, we're at 1200 now. Hey, we're just going for sightseeing. That's all. And this weather, this is not the time to be messing around like this. I mean, not that I did that intentionally. All right, let's go around like this. We do need to set our course as well. It's another thing I forgot. 164 degrees right here. Yeah, don't take anything I did there as advice. So we're fully configured to be at Douglas Waypoint. We're at 1900. We're at the right speed. So we got to route ourselves back there essentially. We're a little higher at 150. One flaps. I'm at full 30 flaps. It's fine. It's going to use more fuel, but that's okay. It's harder for it to keep it at that point, but we are fully configured. Let's set it for 160 actually, and set setting of flaps up. Let's go to 25 degrees. It's a little easier on the plane. It's a bit easier for it to fly at that speed. Alright, let's start our turn around here. Sorry, not talking much. Just trying to get ourselves aligned back on the route as best as I can here. Make sure I don't turn too early. I'm trying to see what how fast I can turn. Okay, a little less than that. Should be able to turn on LNAV now to get it back on the course automatically. There we go. Now let's fully configure for landing once again. Douglas is where we need to have the approach armed by this time. Let's go now to full flaps 30. Airspeed down to 150 and we'll arm the approach. We'll bring our speed lower once we get closer. And when we have more drag out like the wheels. Zoom in here. Range is 10. There we go, we're on course. Let's bring it down to 133. final landing speed here and bring the wheels down. We're on flaps 30. Course is set. That is our speed at flaps 30, yep. Okay. Now we should be ready for landing. Traffic warning right in front of us again. It's not till Douglas, that's the airport before, that we're actually descending, so we should be at 1900 here. It's a little clearer this time, but it gets bad right at the airport. That's why I couldn't see outside to see that something was going wrong. We're fully configured for landing now. Make sure the auto brake setting stayed. It is. It's at 2. Speed brakes are armed. Now we're fully configured. They'll come out when needed. Let's see. At Douglas, are we going to descend correctly? Just about at Douglas. We're only at 1900, so that's why the glide slope starts descending so close to the airport. Because of that airport, we're having to pass over Boeing Airport. So you can see at Douglas, we should be taking the glide slope. It is armed. That's why it's taking so much power to keep the plane flying straight and level right now. With this terrible weather and everything, full flaps, gear out. It takes a lot of power to hold it at a very specific speed. A lot of power fluctuation, I should say. There we go. We're on the glide slope. Just a bit early, actually. Sorry, we're not actually on it. We're just started losing altitude a bit too much. So we're a bit below, but it's trying its best. It's going crazy with the auto throttle. We just got to get ready to go around at any point with the landing like this. Can't see it by our minimums, and we got to go around. Well, we are doing auto land actually. Yeah, Cat 3, there is no minimum. I did put it at 100 as if we were doing Cat 2, but it is available at this airport to do a Cat 3, so that's what we'll be doing. So we're going to continue no matter what, as long as all the systems look good. Because the plane's going to fully land itself. We are on the glide slope. Alright, now we just have to hope and pray everything works. All of our lights are on. Everything else is configured, so this is going to be an auto land, unless I can see it the last second. See the meatball on the HUD, that's where we're going to hit, basically. Let's hope that's on the runway. There's the runway. Perfect. I don't know if I want to land it on my own in this weather, but I can see now, so let's land the plane ourselves. I am flying manually now. I'm not the best at this. I am still practicing with the 737, that's for sure. So keep that in mind. But I do want to do as many lands as I can to continue practicing. And the weather is bad here. I'm not aiming for the threshold at all correctly here. There we go.
Approaching minimums.
Continue.
Minimums. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Set the gear down, front gear nicely. There we go. That was a pretty good landing. Flared a little early, but I was able to maintain it with some power. Actually, I didn't have power in. I was able to maintain it. I guess I didn't flare as early as I thought. Thought I had a little power in longer. Wasn't too bad. We don't need any reverse thrust with the auto brakes. In this case, let's zoom all the way in on our map here. Let's turn the auto brakes off. Give it some power. Come on. Oh, the auto brake's still on? What's going on here? I tapped the manual brakes, which usually turns the auto brake off, but I guess not this time. My new kitten is wanting to appear on the camera. There we go. Right on the yoke. Thank you. Just gotta investigate the setup. Please don't push the thrust. Then we'll be all good. It's busy today. Yeah, not on paper the best landing because I did flare too early, like I said, but overall I am happy with the landing. It was a smooth touchdown. I kept the front wheel up much longer. That's what I usually fail at. Once I hit the ground, I forget that I gotta keep kind of flaring to keep the front wheel up to make it ideal, and I slam it down. So I'm happy I didn't do that this time. I started to. It started to come down quickly, and then I quickly fixed it. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Watch where you're clicking. Just wanted to turn my flaps off. My landing lights off. Runway turn off lights off. We're not blinding everybody. Let's pull into a gate here. Let's go for the gate right ahead of us. Definitely different than all the other landings we've done on this series specifically, where they were all clear skies and nice. So Alaska 737 headed out. What happened? What just happened? Okay, well, we're shut down early. Did I run out of fuel? I had extra fuel, but even for a go around and everything, I did the block fuel plus a little bit. No, we didn't. Okay, that's just flight sim being flight sim. Something triggered an engine shutdown. That's great. Do I fly in VATSIM? I did. I'd say before YouTube. I practiced before I ever did YouTube, and then I did a little bit on YouTube before I was comfortable enough to talk to the camera. So my very first few flight sim videos you'll see on 2020 were me talking only to controllers on VATSIM. But then 2024 came out and I was busy with career mode and everything, so I haven't flown on VATSIM in 2024 or since it came out. So it's been a while, been a long while. So I'm planning on getting back into it soon, but probably not for this series. Certain flights for sure. Ones that we won't be seeing much on the ground, like over the ocean and stuff, I'll try to do those on VATSIM. Although I've never done over the ocean on VATSIM, so I gotta learn that, but yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely do some free flight on VATSIM no matter what. Whether I do the Tour of the World series on there or not. Oh, what has gone on here? Okay. Flight sim? Can I go back? Nope. Alright, that's an Alt F4 then. One moment, I'll be right back. I'm still gonna be here, but gotta start flight sim up again. Even not the beta, we get some issues like that sometimes. But the flight went well. It didn't crash, didn't have problems. I'm happy with that. Let's do that. It's starting back up already, so it shouldn't be too long. It does start much faster now, it seems. Let's just talk about our next flight. So let's look, if you're on the spreadsheet, which is in the description, we're flying from Seattle, Tacoma to Forks, Washington, which is a small town with a nice airport, which is the home of Twilight. So that's why we're going there. And we're going to be taking a longitude there, I believe. Or sorry, a CJ4. Which, since this series is so long, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flights. So it's not exactly hard to make sure we use every single plane at least one time. But that is another goal of the series. And we haven't done so yet. Because there's so many extra flights, we can do a lot of the plane multiple times. So we've been doing the Vision Jet a lot. We've done the 737 a few times. Longitude quite a few times because it's really, really fast. And we've had some really long flights to cover. But yeah, overall, sometimes I throw in a random different aircraft because we are going to have want to fly every aircraft at least once in the game. No worries, Ben. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you being here. So this will be flight 43, which we will do this episode, and I think we'll leave it at Forks after this. It's another short flight from Seattle over a mountain or around a mountain, however it wants to route us. And we'll be in the Cessna CJ4, which is fun. I haven't flown that in a while. And I don't think I've flown it at all on 2024. Come on, Flight Sim. Appreciate everyone joining, by the way. Really do appreciate all of the support, more than you guys know. Never ever thought I'd be able to play a game while people watch, so anyone who joins, I really do appreciate. It's been a crazy journey. Over 2,000 subscribers is just like quite literally unbelievable. 2,300. Thank you guys so much for that. Let's hop in the free flight, EFB, and let's start planning right away. Well, let's get the CJ4 out first. I cannot type. There we go. Do we have any fun liveries for it? No configurations. We got the default, the global. We've done, we haven't flown this 124. Let's do global freightways. Why not? I like the color. Alright, let's pull up the EFB. I'm going to pull up another tab on Google real quick to get my aircraft types on SimBrief. SimBrief dispatch. New. We want to note new flight, please. It's my bad to press the wrong thing. CJ4 is C25C. We're going from KSEA to Forks, Washington, Forks Airport, which is S18. It's not actually an ICO, so hopefully it comes up. Yes, perfect. C25C. There we go. Citation CJ4. It's the little baby one. I guess CJ3 is smaller or older. I don't know if it's actually smaller. But yeah, we've been flying the longitude on this series, which is much newer, much nicer. But it's good to mix it up. It didn't have a HUD on this plane in 2020, so I'm not sure if it will on 2024. I hope so. But I also don't think it does in real life. Let's try importing that again. Okay, it is on here. It's just... Oh, no, it's not on here, right? Let's try that again. Possibly the alternate is messing it up. Let's edit this flight and let's take out the alternate. So we don't need enough fuel to go all the way back. We just gotta land there. Let's try again. Going all the way to 20,000 just to get over there. Interesting. It's not on there, but anyways, it doesn't really matter because we're importing it again and doing it all ourselves anyway once we get in. So let's just get on the ground. Let's just go to this little medium ramp over here. We're not getting any passengers since we are freight. What is going on? No, I don't want to start airborne. Come on, flight sim, what is going on here? It's my departure. Start flight. Sure, it thinks I'm going to land at the same airport. It's not happening. Come on. Yeah, that loaded in. That's good. And it's probably going to get all crappy looking, but we're going to change the weather this time to nice. What? It didn't. Live weather must not be on, or it's loading now. No, there we go. Alright, that's not cool. Let's change the livery real quick. I don't want to have that ruin anything. CJ4. Configure. Let's go for the default. Again, we'll try to import, but I doubt it'll work. Yeah, it didn't work. We'll start it again. Especially because this is a main, sightseeing flight. We're not doing airliners, ILS, anything like that. We're going to turn off live weather. We'll go to June, the middle of June, make it all clear skies. And the reason I say that is that we can't get accurate altimeter settings and everything when we're on the simulated weather, like old weather, which is kind of the problem. It still works mostly, but if you want to play really realistically, like we usually do when we're flying an airliner, let's just let it load for a sec so it doesn't lag like crazy. And it's got a glitchy livery too. That's awesome. Hopefully it's fixed here in a bit. Once we actually get in. Any other covers we got to remove? Pitot cover. Yeah, look at our little baby CJ4. Let's hop in. We'll see what I can remember in terms of flying this plane. Setting it up and everything. Alright. So let's, I probably won't remember much. I haven't flown it in a long time, like since 2020. The game, not since actually 2020. Can't wait for the 350 on 2024. I know. I'll be flying it launch day, so definitely look out for that, unless you're flying it as well, of course. Batteries on, avionics on. Emergency lights armed. Wow, what is wrong with this plane? Is it the plane or is it flight sim? Let's switch out to the longitude and just see if the game is broken or if this plane is just broken in multiple ways. That's unfortunate. Let's hope we can fly that one. I know this plane works, at least. Now I'm going to import it outside of the thing since I know it doesn't work. I'm quick at changing all the menus now because Flight Sim needs me to reset things so often. Unfortunately. Let's just hope it loads in. Looks like it's working on it. There's the planes, there's the ground textures, alright. There's the buildings. I have a friend who flies the 350-900 and said it's crazy how they added the stability protection system in the game. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen anything about that, but I have watched some of the streams, not the full videos, but I've clicked through them, and especially on takeoff, I watched that the whole takeoff, and all the systems they added, and especially the sounds, is just insane. The sounds are crazy. Like, to me, that adds such a level of immersion, and when the aircraft has good sounds, so I'm excited for that. You can hear the gear and the flaps and all the little things. It just seems so well built. Any builds is good. Okay, this is taking forever, but it's making progress, so that's why I'm letting it take forever. Yeah, there we go. Wow, it's still like that. What is going on? This might be a one flight stream, unfortunately. Flight sim just decided to not work. Yep. Alright, Alt F4. I will try one more time. I'll reset the game one more time. Trying to give the game the benefit of the doubt, but not looking promising, unfortunately. That first one worked so well compared to yesterday. We couldn't even get going in any flight. I've not had issues for so long with this game too. It's really done good. Alright, it is launching again. Alrighty, come on, flight sim. Let's work this time, please. Alright, I'll be right back. Just one second. Alright, I'm back. Come on, cross my fingers here. Appreciate you guys waiting around through flight sim's problems. Really do appreciate that. Hope you're all having a good Sunday. For those in Canada, you got a long weekend, obviously. Family Day is tomorrow. Don't know if it's a different type of holiday in the US. Feel free to let me know. Or if you guys got to go back to work tomorrow. I hope you're having a good day anyway. Okay, it's just about to be ready. And we will go to the CJ4, which is what I initially wanted because it wasn't the plane that was the problem, as we saw. CJ4. Just wondering if they're going to have the ESP on that 350 to wear if you get too close to the... That'd be cool. I mean, with all the detail that they put in, I would assume they would, but I mean, whatever they have, they got enough already, I can tell. Which is awesome. So let's just do yeah, we'll do live traffic. Clear skies. Really few clouds actually, just make it look a little interesting. Alright, I'm not gonna import the flight, I'm just gonna go right in. Flight sim, I'll let it load here a little bit. So departure, let me just stare at it for a sec. Load in some of the stuff preemptively. There we go. And now start flight. It doesn't really load in much without actually clicking start flight, so no point of letting it load the little textures because it doesn't actually matter. But liveries like that, but I think that's a separate problem. We're not having the huge stutters. Good. Little stutters are normal in flight sim when we load into the plane. Load everything, especially in a big airport like this. Let's just see. Give it a second. Cool, Alaska Airlines building. That's awesome. That's modeled in. Open the battery. Swivel on the avionics switch. Actually, I'm supposed to go in the emergency battery, actually, right? And then avionics. So just get the FMS? Yeah. Sorry. I remember. Let's initialize the position. But I'm not going to remember a lot, that's for sure. I haven't blown this plane in a while. Alright. Let's set up everything manually. Well, sorry, we'll import from SimBrief to see what that does and then set it up manually. I don't think this is going to do much. But it could. Sometimes it just... Oh, yeah, there you go. Sometimes it works. But we'll still make sure everything is what we want. Okay, it didn't set the destination or anything like that. KS18. KS18. That's not good. This flight team doesn't know it by that name. Does it have a different name for it? Let's see if we can find it manually here. I think that's Forks. It's the airport to the south. There it is. So we got nothing? We got no airport information here? Is that not turned on here? Mission. It is. I'm not seeing any airport names though. Let's just fly there manually. You know what? We're going to sightsee around the mountain anyway. Let's do this manually. We're going to find it manually. That'll be more of a difficult challenge, but that's okay. Let's go to the main avionics battery, or the main battery. Avionics are turned on. Emergency lights are armed. Exterior lights. Are down here. Turn on the logo light. Passenger lights. Even though we are on doing cargo. Or no, we're not doing cargo. We're in the default livery. Yeah, we got a little setup back here. Stairs. Take 6 people with us to Forks. Alright, let's go through the checklist, because again, I don't remember everything. I know how to start up the engines theoretically, but I don't want to miss something that was important on the way to doing it. Should be a pretty quick one here. Checking everything, yep, okay. Set, idle, switches, and on, and dispatch. I think that's what it's on, right? Yeah. Oh, and the dispatch is for... I should have done emergency battery and the dispatch, right? Or I guess it would have been on already. Before starting engine. It should be on dispatch, not on. Okay. Oh, that's just for setting up the flight. It needs to be on now. Alright, well, let's turn on the beacons and start at the engines. Oh, shoot. So there wasn't actually more than I thought. Let's go ahead and start the engines, which is the right starter button. Simple. No, there's something else I gotta do. Oh wait, no. That's run. Then I gotta do the starter button. So let's turn off the run. Let's open the guards though. Just engine starter. Run when the N2 is at around 20%. Not even worry about ATC because we're not even doing a flight plan. Set our altimeter in the manual way, or the cheat way by pressing comma there. Where's the N2 percentage? Because I don't think it's that. That's N1. Oh, N2 right there. There it is. Oops, 24. And run. Just do the left engine starter. Yeah, these sounds are awesome. And run. Put the guards on. The taxi lights on. Pulse lights on. Or that's instead of taxi lights. Okay, taxi. Alright. Now the avionics go to master. Okay. After engine start, good to know. All lights must be on. Your parking brake is released. Okay, it's very simple and we got it. So let's do our pushback here. Parking brake is off. We're gonna manually fly in quotes, but we're gonna follow the flight as SimBrief sees it, because SimBrief does understand. They're deciding which way they're turning me, okay. So I guess this departure is programmed in the plane, just this part is not. Let's end the pushback there, please. Let's get off my plane. Please get off my plane, thank you. Let's see what we're doing here. We're going to, what runway? Runway 16 left. Let's check the charts. Thanks for having to reload all of that again. One 6 left. Oh man, we gotta go all the way up there. Okay. Oh, we actually are in the cargo hub too. That worked out. Well, I guess we didn't switch it back to global freightways, so we're not a cargo plane. Anyway. We're on our way. We got a long taxi. I don't know what that just was, but alright. Okay. Let's remember how to use these maps, and these avionics in general. We're zooming. Some menu dial. I'm gonna change my range though. What was that bump? Oh, okay. Thought I ran somebody over. Whoa, that's sensitive right now. What is going on? Oh, the right rudder was stuck in. Okay. So our flight director's on. Set up auto, altitude. Let's check our chart for our departure. If there's an altitude constraint or anything like that. Gotta be above 3,000. Above 10,000, so set it for 10,000. Probably gonna stay at 10,000 for the whole flight. And we're not going that far, and I want to be able to see stuff, so. 10,000's plenty for us. What's that Burger King International Boeing King? That makes more sense. Runway heading, let's check that. 164. All the way around to 164, please. There we go. There's no auto throttle on this plane, I do know that. Let's set our flaps. Flaps 1. Test reverse thrust. For rejected takeoff, no reverse thrust on this plane. Okay. Right. We will go to the very end of the runway. We don't need to for takeoff distance. It's Embraer. Yeah, it is. But we are turning right out of the airport right away, so it'll give us a bit more room to do. A bit more time. Makes it a bit easier. Renby, Richer, Tomry, and Bangor. Nice. I think that's all in the plane, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, perfect. Cab up first. So at least the departure is in there nice, and we can just do the rest ourselves with heading selects. Sorry, I'm all over the place trying to figure this out as we go. I'm going to hold short of the runway and look at the performance numbers. 1D10, that's sick. Launch 2 go by. Actually, I don't know if that's launch 2. It's kind of small. Might be. Let's quickly go through performance numbers. Let's clear this. Where's the clear button? Clear, delete. There we go. Should have done performance stuff. Takeoff performance. Actually, let's go to performance init. Cruise altitude is not going to be 20,000. It's going to be 10,000. Oopsie. There we go. Execute that. Take off. 16 left. That's the QNH. It's going to be 2992 because we're not on live weather. Oops. Oh, it's outside air temperature. What am I reading? Q996 is the altimeter, actually. So let's go to Barrow. I don't want standard. I want to switch from inches, hectopascals to inches. I'm not sure how to do that. Probably somewhere in the menu. That's great. Okay, well, that's fine. Standard is what? 1013, and it's 2996, just above standard. Sure, it's just random numbers. That's always great. Format. PFD menu. Okay, hold on, I do gotta fix this. Arrow set. No, I don't want that. I need to actually change it. Come on. Enter. Seriously? Alright, well, I guess it doesn't matter that much. We're manually flying most of the way. So let's just ignore our performance information. We don't normally do that, but we're not doing a main autopilot flight for most of this, so let's just leave it. Let's just take off. We'll be irresponsible. Alright, let's throw on the landing lights and nav lights and strobe lights and our TCAS lights, pulse lights. Alright, we're good to go. Not knowing any of our reference speeds correctly is going to really bite me in the butt when it comes to landing, but it's okay. Take off. Just wait till the aircraft feels like it wants to fly. Okay, well, it wants to be all over the place, so there we go. Positive rate. Let's turn on autopilot quickly. Where's the main autopilot button? Autopilot. Nav mode. Set our flaps to 0. And I need to do FLC wherever that is. Come on, come on. FLC. Turn the power back a little bit. Come on, FLC. There we go, FLC. Let's put the speed down to like 220 or something. I don't know our ideal climb rate. Could have looked at that in the references too, but I didn't. We're on nav mode though, it's good, and we're climbing, which is good. Let's do full power to climb. Or just below full power. Flaps off, but it's not working. That makes sense why they're not going off. There we go. We're climbing nice and quickly. Wow. It's pretty insane. Wow. Over 6,000 feet a minute. CJ4's got some power. We're not even at full thrust. Close. Okay, I see it's not quite in the climb range. I'll bring it back a little bit more. And we're turning. Let's get some pictures. This
Altitude.
Super nice. Yeah, we're about to hit our altitude. Perfect. 10,000. So we're going to start accelerating. We can bring that speed back in a moment. Bring the thrust levers back a little bit now. Let's turn our landing lights off and our passenger lights off. Our cruising altitude is going to be 10,000, so not doing too many harsh turns. I'll turn on half bank. So we'll keep it comfortable and safe. Beautiful Seattle area. wondering where that mountain is. We're going to Forks, which is right around here. And throw on that overlay for you guys. There you go. Getting back on course here. Let's check our charts. Of course, because we did exterior view, it's fully reset again. I need to have it off my other monitor again. I do like having you guys see it though. Okay, we're looking good on our course. It's going to take us out to there. Alright, and then we'll have to manually do a heading to get to where we're going. Maybe with the mountains we will raise our elevation to what it wants. Because then we don't have to worry about if we're going to hit them. 20,000, wow, okay. Sure, let's do 20,000. Do 20,000, but we'll let it be a very slow climb, or it might be a slow climb. I will set to full power, but we'll have our FLC be full speed, so we're more focused on getting there quicker than actually climbing. So we'll do FLC. We'll set the speed to 300 knots. We'll set the full power. And bring it back very, very slightly to be in more of a climb range than a toga range. Yes, I know, I'm not trying to go over. Let's do like 302 even. So we're going to be flying nice and fast, and whatever's power is left will be climbing, which seems like a lot actually. This plane is quick, wow. It's honestly impressive. Let's turn half bank off for that final turn. So I'm going to turn the passenger lights back on for now. That's how fast we're climbing. So we hit 20,000. You can see the engines back there. Beautiful, beautiful view. I gotta love this game. Phone charger, where are the passenger lights at? I don't even see them. Oh, just over here. I see seatbelt lights are on. There we go. Start to see the mountains. See it out there, mountains ahead of us. And it's beautiful. Love Washington. Super nice. I'm rolling with a 20,000. This plane really is a beast for climbing. It's our final turn, I believe, that autopilot will guide us on. Yep. Going to bring us 26 more miles to Erie. Can I figure out this heading? I don't know if I can.
Altitude.
let's hit our altitude, so we gotta bring our power down so we don't overspeed this plane. Trying to go a bit more than that. So 270 would be west, of course. It's probably closer to 275, 280 degrees. That's my guess. How far we were? 15 miles. Gonna power up more. I powered down because we were gonna cruise, and I thought we wouldn't be able to maintain that speed, but no, not at all. Let's get this plane rolling. Try to find the right thrust setting that keeps us around the right speed here. Perfect. We're in the cruise range. Bring it back a bit more. We're overspeeding now. It sucks when you don't have an auto throttle. All manual. So let's worry about our speed a little bit less. Trying to get a bit more power, but let's worry about our heading next. We're going to want to do 280. Let's set it. I think. No, we're going 286 now, aren't we? 270 is obviously west. So maybe 275 we'll try. Heading mode, alright. Let's get to 275. $272 maybe. It's gonna be more like 260 something, I think, actually. Not at all on that track. It's not north locked. I think it is, right? Because our track could be different than our heading. Let's ask ATC for headings, actually. Let's see if we can do that. Don't like them, but this might be helpful. Something they actually can do for us. What am I doing? Sound, character voices. Let's go ahead and use those.
4080 tree is type Cessna C25C 12 miles south of 7 Whiskey Alpha 0 FL 200. Request flight following.
Cessna November 4080 tree, Seattle Center. Squawk 1 tree 45.
Squawk 1 tree, 45 Cessna, 80 tree.
Cessna 80 tree radar contact 11 miles south of 7 Whiskey Alpha 0 FL 200.
There's not many closer airports, so it should be pretty easy to ask for it.
Roger Cessna 80 tree.
Cessna 80 tree contact Seattle Center on 125. 1. Good day.
Alright, we're being handed off to somebody else, actually.
125. 1 for Cessna 80 tree. Seattle Center Cessna November 4080 tree FL 200. Cessna November 4080 tree, Seattle Center radar contact, continue.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Ahead it forks. I didn't want to tune that exactly, but alright. Let's see if I announce position I can
Sierra 1,
find out.
Traffic Cessna November
4 miles, alright.
tree 2 4 miles east FL 200 inbound to land runway 22.
Bring it down to 5,000 here. Let's do FLC of 290 knots. 295, and let's go idle power. And let's put a little power in actually. Passenger safety lights on. More power away in the slower we descend, obviously, so let's put a bit more power in. We're going down at like 8,000 feet a minute. Let's not do that. It should correct itself here.
Sierra 1-8 traffic Cessna November.
Didn't miss the manual way here.
80 tree 1 7 miles east 16100.
Oh, 17 miles. I thought it was 7 miles. That worried me for a sec. So it really doesn't know anything, huh? Is there any charts for that airport at all? Nope, okay. I'm going to power down a little bit more. We're going down to 4,000 already, but I'm going to have it go down even faster. Let's start heading a little more to the left. We've got some wind pushing us. This is why we're not going right where we want to be going. There's forks actually. Let's go power all the way down. Let's go crazy fast. Hold on, passengers. It's going to keep us at 300 knots, so we're going the same speed, but the descent rate's going to climb real fast. Yeah, we need to. So, let's close these things. Let's set our speed down, which is actually going to level us off. I know that. Set our speed brakes full. That's fine. Wow, what's going on here? Oh, we hit a certain elevation, which is why we're going so over speed now. Sorry about that. Let's use our full spoilers here. It's really gonna increase our descent rate. Let's set our descent to something like what should our speed be set to? Our altitude to 3,000. Now we're gonna have to change where we're going here. Instead of heading way over here. Altitude, like say 2,000. FLC at 177. Let's get there. Give it a little bit of power so it Just need to get there that fast. There's forks there. Just gotta keep in mind all the mountains, stay out of the mountains. We're just gonna turn right like this and around like that and come in. So I'm going to set my altitude now all the way down, even more, to 1,000. And we're going to control our descent rate basically by how much power we give it. Just going to do what I tell it. So heading full over here. Make sure it's doing a left turn. There we go. Can't even see the airport elevation. Let me just quickly Google it. $300 feet. Okay. Roughly 300 feet. We're not on half bank, right? Oh, we are. Oops. Our seatbelt's on. We don't need to be on half bank here. Set FLC for 200 knot. Let's go back to 180 knots. I like that. Let's put the flaps at flaps 15 and bring the power back a little bit. So we're going to start descending. Again, we have it set all the way to 1,500 or 500 feet, 600 feet we have it set for. So if we give it more and more power, it's going to change. Let's set the final approach speed here to, let's say, 110. Let's bring the power back to idle. Say 105. We'll set the flaps as we go. Flaps 35 now can be set. Landing gear out. Get a bit of power as well. Bring the power back.
Altitude.
Let's turn off autopilot. Let's land the plane here. Keep it around 100 knots. We're slowly losing elevation. hard to be zoomed out enough to see out the windows and enough to see my speeds and everything. Sorry, I am flying the plane manually at this point. I should turn my camera on there. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna decrease my landing speed again. I thought it was at about 97. Stall speed's a bit lower, so let's decrease that. We're coming in a bit high here, that's for sure. Short runway. Let's try to slam it down a little bit, not too hard, but not too soft. Alright, that was way harder than I anticipated. Let's go around. I want to have a better landing than that. Let's try that again. Came in too fast for that. It's two go-arounds this episode. Not very good for even new viewers, but that's okay. Not trying to claim I'm an expert or anything. Usually a little bit better than that. No, we're alright. Alright, let's put the landing gear up fine. Keep it out. We're not going to do much of a go around here. Enough where I can be stable on the approach. More stable than that, that's for sure. I had the speed estimate a bit wrong. I thought we were going to land at 100 knots. I think it wants to land more at 90. It's 10 knots that close to the runway. It does make a difference. Fair, we did land on the runway. Not so nicely. Sorry, let's pitch up so we can lose some speed. There we go, 90s. Yep, it's giving a warning there, so high 90s actually. We were a little closer to it than I thought. We're full flaps, we're gear down. Oh, am I missing the airport? Is it over there? I definitely am. Where's the airport? I'm gonna turn the markers on. Oh, it's way over there. How did I mess that up that badly? I went around much further than I thought I did. Okay. I'm gonna need to sit up way higher than it allows me to sit. I need to see if I can fix my view here to a different preset. Obviously we'll go around, but I cannot see out of this plane. It's not a glass cockpit either. So I kind of need to. That's so inconvenient. Not my favorite plane. But it all just takes practice. I'm flying airliners with HUDs and everything. So I need to get used to this again. Keep our landing speed. Just do a small turn here. Don't worry, passengers. I'm definitely an expert. We will land today at some point. Just can't confirm when. Do you want to go outside to check where we are? In case it messes up my view again. Closer to landing speed. There's the runway. Again, we're very close to it. That's okay. Let's do like some aggressive maneuver here. Let's just get it down. It's not the definition of a stable approach, that's for sure. Jeez, what is that? I just can't see the airport from far away. It's a skill issue. Yeah, we're not landing. Jesus. Let's fly from exterior view so I can get a bit closer. Let's just... Don't care about the passengers here. Oh boy. Fully stalled out the wing. Well, that's a first for this series. Like a crash like that. I think we've had one crash on the series so far, and it was just trying to fly this like a fighter jet. Didn't make it to the runway in the A400. Oh, well, that's interesting. All right. Let's try this landing again. That's horrible. Maybe I'll make a crash counter on the spreadsheet. I think there's technically 3 in the 43 flight. I'd say 2. I think the A400 and this that I can remember. That's horrible. And look at the approach it's given us here. Thanks, fighter jet. Maybe I should have chose like a Cessna or something. Like a C-72, not a citation. Let's try to regain my dignity a little bit here. I doubt I will. That was horrible. Yeah, as long as it's not real life, it's okay, right? Doesn't help that this approach is actually difficult with these mountains and whatnot. Okay, we're 8 miles out, but fine. I'll do landing gear and full flaps so we can focus on keeping our speed proper. I'm going to turn that off. Keep my eyes locked on where the airport is. This time. It's hard to do an approach where we're trying to do it where we're coming in from the side and turning without GPS or anything because you can't. You have to obviously see it. And this is just not the plane for visibility. I'm at my max height of seating right now. The camera will let me go. All right, let's pitch up so we can get the closer to the landing speed, and we're very far away still, but what are our spoilers doing out? Does not assist us. Turn our seatbelt lights on, everything on. We're getting some gusts from the mountains now. Just not move my camera around. I gotta lock in here. Can't do that twice. Let's bring the power back, so I'm gonna pitch up. Get our landing speed here. Of 100 knots. We'll keep it at 100, just below 100. Don't want to stall it. Yeah, when I turned too sharply to go around that last time. Intentionally, because I was like, just wanted to fly aggressively, but no, this plane cannot handle that. It's stalled. Sailed the wing and flopped out of the sky. Yeah, I'm not a real pilot yet, so it's okay. Bring the power back, try to get more of a shallow approach here. Just using power, the main thing for landing, although I didn't do it last time. Only control your speed with the pitch, so I'm trying to stay around 90, so when I get too low, I pitch down. When I get too high, I pitch up. That's all you have to worry about for pitching. Don't pitch to try to aim there for the runway, like up and down. And then for aiming for the runway, if you need more or less altitude, then you use your power. So, and don't use power for speed. If you're getting too slow, don't power up. Pitch down to gain speed, but if you pitch down and you need more altitude because you're not going to make it to the runway, then you would power up. Like now, I'm pitching down my speed, I need more altitude to make it, so let's give it some power. But then obviously when you give it some power, it wants to speed up, so you pitch up a bit to control the speed, and that's what gets you further, obviously. Just pointing at the ground with power doesn't do anything good for you. So yeah, I'm slowing down. I'm starting to do the bad thing where I'm pitching up to make it. Need to pitch down to get the right speed and power up for the altitude. It's hard to get used to. Got to rewire your brain to do that because that's how you land. I'm too fast, so I'm pitching up and seeing what I need in terms of elevation and controlling my power based on that. I was in full flaps, I think. I'm just to make sure I am full flaps. There I was. Pitch down a bit more for more speed, give it more power, make it there. Very short runway for this plane. Try to pitch down a bit more. Alright, I need to lose some power. Coming in a little high for how short this runway is. There we go. Stall horn is not a bad thing. Usually want to land a stall. I definitely flared too high. Don't care about how rough it is. I gotta stop before the end of this runway. It's very short. Yeah, floated halfway down the runway, which doesn't help, but we're not going in the trees. That's important. A little bit off. Ground spoilers probably would have helped with that, but I don't know how they work in this plane because it says armed here, but you have to like have them fully out first. Yeah, so you can't arm them. You got to just extend them fully manually. Hard to do when you have to actually look down and click them when you're already on the runway. So not very possible for flight sim. Maybe if you had a hotkey to do it, then you could do it. That would have probably been just enough to stop us, but no reverse thrust. It doesn't help either. And again, I floated about halfway down the runway. Maybe a little less than halfway. But we're here. Not every landing's going to be a good one, unfortunately. I'm practicing. Well, welcome to Forks, Washington. Glitchy livery and everything. Lovely. Alrighty, let's bring it in. Let's see how long the next flight is, and maybe we'll do it, because I need to redeem myself a little bit. I was going to end it there, and I might. I got to check real quick how long it's going to take. Shouldn't be too long of a flight. Might do it in the longitude where I have some help with the idle throttle. The auto control is the one thing I have to work on the most. That's for sure. Let's shut down the systems here. Turn the avionics out, radon off, battery off. Passenger lights are, of course, off now. Alright, everybody, get out of my plane. Can I come out? Yeah, there we go. Get out. Oh, I just got... Oh, no, no, okay, there we go. Perfect. Let's end that flight, and let's plan the next one. At least it'll be planned for next time if we don't do it now, but I think I will. It should be short, and I'm going to take the longitude. It's going to be quick. Just take the longitude to go to Portland. A little larger, a little faster. A lot faster. And auto throttle and a HUD. So let's see how we can land with this thing. Let's try to redeem myself a little bit, like I said. Alright, let's go ahead and go to sim brief. New. Of course. Thank you. Is it actually? Sometimes it just signs in after saying that. Nope, that's fantastic. Alright. Let me just sign that in. Okay, should be working. I can see it loading in the background. New, alright, and our longitude is what flight type? Plane type. It is the C700. So depart from S18. S18. It should work in flight sim as a departure because I can just click on it, obviously. Arrival will be Portland International Airport, which is obviously going to be found KPDX. And C700. Let's generate that. One second, I'm just sending a text. Alright, import route. Sorry. Trying to arrange something, so I'm just sending a couple messages. There we go. Imported. It doesn't know this airport, which doesn't make any sense because it does know this airport. So let's set the departure manually, which we actually then have to set the ramp. Whoa. Flight sim, please don't do that to me. Let's set the ramp here as the actual departure. Start flight. And this one should be fully able to be planned by SimBrief and actually imported into the plane this time. And again, we're in the longitude, so a little bit different. Everything. System's not going to work properly here. You see that car bouncing? That was fun. Surprisingly good car noise as well. Cool. It's probably the biggest plane Forks has seen for a while. The runway is not very long. I'd be more worried landing this plane. It got a lot more stopping power, but it also needs more room than a CJ4. It'll be able to take off here though, because this thing has extreme power. Look at those lovely winglets, the wing curve. Looks so good. Let's hop in. Let's see if I can remember this plane. I honestly feel like I remember it worse. Left and right battery on. Avionics are starting. Standby power on. Where are the lights? They're on top, aren't they? Yes. Let's turn on the wing lights. Turn on the passenger lights. And we'll leave it at that for now. Let's let the avionics start up. Let's start up the AVU as well. Get some power on board, proper power and air. There we go, it's starting up. Let's make sure the flight plan is imported, and then we'll do the rest manually, whatever I can't do. Flight plan. Laptop's our first waypoint. That's not far. That's good. And then runway 10 left.
Okay.
We're going to go to our procedures page. Approach. ILS 10 left. Load that into the flight plan. And then let's go to our charts as well. Flights, unload. Let's load this flight in. Should be long at all. No, it's a nice and short flight down to Oregon, Portland, Oregon. Then we're going to be flying east across the country. Hold on, I just saw something I need to find again. Darn, I completely lost it. That's okay. I'm going to look for one more second. Alright, never mind. So WAPTO, and then there. Let's select the approach on here as well. We're going to ILS 10 left, right? And we can either choose... Okay, it's already chose transition point for us. Let's put that in. Now we have the chart available to us, and we have it on the flight plan there. So perfect. That's the missed approach. Oh wait, no, that's the... That is the missed approach there. Okay. So here's the ILS in. Perfect. Everything looks good. Let's just get the plane ready for takeoff now. Let's turn the pulse lights on and the taxi lights on. Start the engines up here. Right engine first. Full engine longitude enough where I know generally how to do it. Again, if you want to see the flight details of everything we're doing, it's in the spreadsheet in the description. Or if you click the pinned comment, join the Discord, you can see the spreadsheet in there, the link for it. As well as every time we finish an episode, I put a message in that shows all the flights we did and all the photos we took. Once we're taking off here, before we hop on autopilot, we'll be flying around Forks a little bit if we can. Just as a bit of sightseeing. We didn't sightsee as much as I would want to in Vancouver or anything because of the weather. So I normally fly in June. So I take a nice picture of the plane as it starts up. That's not the photo button, not the photo button at all. Shift V, I think, is the photo button. Shift C is how you get in and out, if you're wondering. Quickly. There we go. Close that up and get back in. Alright. Should be pretty much ready to go. What runway does it want me to take off from? 04. Which I know is on the other end there. Okay. Park and brake off. Start rolling. You're gonna have to watch out there, buddy. Cruise is 27,000. This thing loves to cruise very high up. It can go up to the 40,000 sometimes. Well, it always can, but usually, I mean, it sometimes wants to be up there. So let's set that for 27,000. Set our altimeter automatically. And now it's ready for autopilot, but again, we're not going to fly with autopilot right away. Set our takeoff flaps. Hopefully this piece can take off here. It is powerful, so I think it will be able to.
Sierra 1-8 traffic Cessna, November 52127, is taxiing to runway 4.
Turn our landing lights on. And let's, where's the auto brake? I can't remember if this thing has auto brake. Don't think so. Those are armed automatically. Alright, I think we're good for takeoff here. It's going to say no takeoff because of the trim issue with this plane unless they fixed it. So just ignore that.
Sierra 1-8 traffic Cessna, November 52127, taking off runway 4 straight out departure.
We're not going to try to get too high. I take off and immediately slow down, and there we go. Yeah, ignore that. Just the trim settings. I know I'm ready for takeoff. I just think it's so much power. We're good. Yeah, pretty close, but we are good overall. Gear up. Let's see if it works. It's a small little town. As long as I get a screenshot of it, I'm happy. It's not going to look like in Twilight. Of course, it's just the theoretical location. I mean, I'm sure some of the locations were filmed there, but I don't know much about that. But not sure about all the details. Flaps are up. Just one more circle around as we gain our altitude. Auto throttle's automatically on because we're over 250, under 10,000, which is not allowed. Let's fully turn autopilot on now that we are done doing some sightseeing. Don't want to mess our flight up too much here. Going to Wapto right now, so I need to go to direct to Wapto. Enter. Direct there, nav mode on. Bring us there, please. Zoom out on the map. Looking good. Going to 27,000. FLC to get there. FLC, there we go. It's at 165 knots, so it's going to bring it up to climb thrust. And there we go. Everything's set. Going the right way, climbing. Now we're good to go. Quickly set up the flight thing for you guys. We're going to KPDX, Portland, Oregon. There we go. I'm not sure if it actually found it because the progress bar is not working. One sec. Okay, now it has started. Good. Might be a little bit confused since we're not on a waypoint 2. Might give it a different progress once we actually get onto the route. And again, we're also going to speed up quite a bit once we get to altitude. Emergency lights are not armed. Oops. go. A nice view from 27,000. We're not going to be at that height for much long. Get ready to set. Already at 2992, so we don't have to worry about altimeter. It's going to be a standard already. When you're not on live weather, it just doesn't really work. It's always like 2992, even if you ask for it. We're gonna make this landing a better one. Or is this not a HUD you can actually use? I can't remember. I thought it was. Oh, maybe it's not. That's fine. That's fine. Got nicer, bigger seats here. 8 instead of 6, but more space in general. Bathroom and everything. Can go a lot further and a lot faster than that CJ4. Much nicer. That ground speed will absolutely rocket up once we get to our cruising altitude. It's using all its power to climb right now. I mean, the fact that we're going this speed and climbing this fast is, at this elevation, is already impressive. About 3,000 feet a minute, over 3,000 feet a minute, 20,000 already. So that's about 3-ish minutes until we get to 27,000. Just because it's going to slow down a bit as we get there out of our climb. And we will be at Wapto, 17 miles. ETA for the whole flight is 29. What time is it now in UTC? I do not know, but we'll look at 2029 and you'll see that go down a lot when we hit our cruising altitude, and our speed goes crazy high. 165 is just the ideal climb rate, so that's why you see that. That's our fastest climb, that is. Not necessarily for getting there the fastest. Or I believe that actually is. It's the best, like the middle. So after Wapto, we're going to go to Buxom, which I believe is already part of the ILS, so we'll just look at what that needs. We'll make sure we're all prepared for it. I doubt we're going to be at cruising altitude for long, like I said. We're almost there, 27,000. There's Wapto, because we do have a good flight to get there, but Buxom we're going to have to be pretty low, I imagine. There's Buxom, 3,000, yep. Imagine we're going to peak to 27,000, go right back down. Maybe we'll stay there for a bit. It does calculate it to be most efficient, so I imagine we will be at that altitude for a little while. Let's slow the descent a little bit to gain some speed. It's not doing exactly what I wanted to do in terms of speed there. So let's switch over to Mach, and sometimes happens. Alright, it's going to start climbing again a little faster. We're almost there anyway. So we know at Buxom we're going to be at 3,000. We'll pay attention to that in just a moment here. Once we hit 27,000, we're reaching it now. FLC has come off, and we're just on manual speed mode. And we don't want to throttle down. We want to set it for its maximum cruising speed of 0.88 Mach, or 0.84 Mach. So you can see now the power will stay at climb, but even though we're leveling off, and it's going to use it all to speed up, then ETA is going to come rocketing down, or it should. Might have to calculate. You see our ground speed on the top of your screen on top right is climbing. Actually, that might be an ETA for WAPTO. Yeah, I see. Because it doesn't understand the difference between these, so I will direct flight after. So that's it thinks its final destination, which is only in 1 minute, of course, which is why it's not shooting down like that. Now that we're at 27,000, I'll set it for 3, but it won't move because we're not telling it to. ILS height. And let's then go direct. Box them. But what we'll do is we'll go to procedures, ILS 10 left. With the Buxom transition, we'll do load and activate. There we go. Top of descent is not too far away already, like I said. We will turn on VNAV, so it knows to go down. Interesting why it's not climbing. Its speed is not accelerating more, and it's bringing the throttle back. Maybe just because we're turning as well, I'm not sure. Speed restriction might be a little lower at this altitude, but I don't think so. Oh, it's trying. Okay, it is trying to get up. It just doesn't have the power to right now, I guess. Power as I climb. There's the top of the descent. We have a little bit of time, not too much. A bit of cruising time. Let's turn off the passenger lights for a second. And I will be right back, everybody. I'm just going to run to the washroom. Appreciate you sticking around. Literally like a minute or a minute and a half, so I don't miss top of descent. Alright. Let me quickly get a back view, actually, rear view. Where I go. So you see the lovely Washington State mountains here. Alright, I'll be right back. I am back. Let's check on our status here. On top of descent's actually further than I thought. 24 miles. Makes sense why I wanted at 27,000 then. . I'm a little confused about our power here. Let's just ruin the engines. It's fine. Let's go full power. Let's speed up. Let's get there. So thanks for landing at 2049. Alright, so again we're in toga power, which is allowing it to go up to the speed I want. So we're gonna get there as fast as we can here. Top of descent is pretty soon, so I'll be able to not use toga power and still keep it at that max speed, because obviously we'll be descending, so that won't be too bad. The progress doesn't look too far to already be descending on the top bar, but it's not a long flight, so the progress just moves quickly. And we didn't turn our APU off, which is fine. Just taking a little extra fuel, that's okay. We'll shut it down now. Oh, I thought the pink was a marker. That makes sense. That's just a trend marker. Gotcha. So we are set for 3,000, which is ILS altitude. Top descent just will work fine. We cut about 4 minutes off our trip just by that acceleration that I was able to do, putting in toga thrust. We're not even at that max speed yet, so we'll cut it off even more here. So be careful once it hits top descent, or just before I'll turn on auto throttle. It's going to bring the power back to climb thrust. We'll use the maximum of climb thrust, which I believe is like 89 or 91%, not 95%. I don't want to overspeed it, so I definitely need to have that. All right, let's do that now. So we're going to bring it back to climb. Should, now it's on, okay. Just going to bring it back quite a bit, honestly. No, let's have our speed set here, please. Auto throttle. I didn't say you could do manual automatic speeds. What are you doing? You're taking all my speed away. What are you doing? We are descending now. I get that. We use manual throttle for a bit. We're at 25,000. We can go fast. Come on. Still descending at the right rate. Once we get closer to 10,000, like say 12,000, I'll turn on auto throttle again then. I'll just keep it high enough to keep our speed up for now. I'm trying to rush. Important clients in this plane. Whole bunch of nobody. I think the ILS should be set automatically. Let's just double check it is in there. If we go to our comms, if I remember how to get there. It's in auto, so trust it. Should be fine. 1113. Oh yeah, it is set. Okay. Perfect. Coming into Portland, Oregon. It's just right there. At 20,000, we'll let it have full control. We'll give it auto throttle. It can have whatever speed it wants. I'll set the speed here to FMS, so it can tell me what it's asking for. It wants to go all the way down to 200 knots. Might need that to help it descend, so let's just turn that on now. Might not be descending as fast as it wants to, but I don't think that's the case, but we'll see. Hopefully I didn't mess up its descent path, but I could always do that manually. See how fast we need to go down. We have 50 miles until the waypoint, so yeah, we can lose any amount of altitude in that distance. Let's bring it in a little bit closer. It's just idle power, trying to get down to its speed that it wants. Turn on the passenger lights before I forget. Since we're now at 18,000. Just about. Won't be long until we land. 10 more minutes. Glad we did this flight as well. And if you want to see all the flights that we have done, check the spreadsheet in the description. This is the last flight that's currently planned. I try to plan a few in advance and do research about the area and make sure I know all the landmarks and things that we want to see, because that's the point of the series and I want to do it right. So I try to plan them in advance, so you can check it whenever and see what we're doing next. But right now this is the last flight on there. Sometimes I plan them on long flights. That's beautiful. But I do want to have sufficient time to make sure I'm not missing something important. So although we did go south here to Portland, we are next going east across the northern U.S. This is the furthest south we'll be going in a while until we get all the way east, and then we'll continue south. We gotta land at each state once minimum. Like, we're doing all the landmarks, but even on states that don't have landmarks that I specifically want to stop at, then we'll at least do a landing at their international airport. And then continue on. So of course we've done Washington and now Oregon. There might be more stops than one per state. I believe there will be. Not just gonna be 50 landings in the states, but a minimum of one per state. So we don't just cruise over 3 states because I don't find anything interesting there. At least we'll get to see the airport and the approach. And obviously the descent and everything, we'll get to see the area, even if it's just a flat, farmland or something. Alright, we're at the 200 knots that it wants. It wasn't at idle, actually. They're at 45%. It's coming down. So it's going to be 3,000. The top of descent, I think it's going to actually calculate for 2,000 at Blazer. That's not a constraint, so it's just going to try to... It might not actually hit that, but we'll see. It's been pretty good to hit the final numbers. Quite good. I don't know why it wants 200 so early. Like, we're in full flap territory. Can I change this if I switch to knots here? Oh, I can. Okay, yeah. Let's do that. We should not be going this slow at this point. Let's go to 250. That's still within flaps 1 range, so yeah, we're at landing speeds here. It's gonna have the pitch down to keep it. It's not gonna mess up the path. It's just gonna speed up. That's directly flaps 1 speed, so let's Go 260. That's why the landing time went so much higher. We're going way too slow. There's 30 miles. Tempted to go even faster, honestly. Yeah, this thing stops quickly with the flaps. I know that, so let's just do it. Let's go to 280. And we'll leave it there. We won't go any higher than that. Auto throttle doesn't want to do it. $265. Won't do that. She wants to go slow. 260. Fine. Actually, it's about to have a constraint of 250. So let's set it for 250. So we can't go above that under 10,000s. Beautiful area. So that makes sense why we're so high. I thought that was Portland, but I guess it's down here. Down the river some more. Sucks we can't use the HUD since they do have them in game. Like, wouldn't have been too hard to add it to this plane, I don't think. Until I want to slow down again. As soon as I want to slow lower than 250, I will put flaps 1 out, and I'll set the speed and put flaps 1. But I'm not going to do it right away, just as we hit, even though we can do flaps 1 at 250. Doesn't mean we need to. We're still using thrust to stay there. We don't need to do even more. Oh, wait. Oh, my flaps up button is not working right. It's like unbound for some reason. Or no, it's just this one. That's my trim button. Okay. That's why it wouldn't go faster. Well, that makes a lot more sense. I don't know why I had flaps 1 up. And I'm honestly betting that's why we couldn't cruise the right speed, because I bet I had flaps 1 this entire flight. My bad. Today's one of those days, I guess. I haven't had enough coffee. It's Sunday. So we're going to start it in 15 miles or so. We're under 10,000. And then that bucks on, that's the 10-mile mark, right? Yeah, that's the 10-mile mark, so keep our distance there, plus 10 is the airport. So we're at 25 miles to the airport. We'll think about slowing down soon. Let's set a range to 10 miles. And when we hit 10 miles to Buxom, I'll bring the speed way down. And we'll set the flaps as we need to get to that speed in time. You're going to hit 10 miles, I'll hit FMS and let it tell me what speed it wants. I'll go back to manual if I need to go even lower than that for landing. Yeah, not catching the flaps has definitely slowed this trip down. That's okay. I guess that's the best speed for flaps 1, but it's definitely not the overspeed for it. Or maybe I did that during descent by accident. That's why we had that massive overspeed warning for a sec. I bet that's what happened. There we go. 10 miles to the waypoint. You can see right there. Switch over to FMS, so we'll let the computer pick the speed. It's just 245 for now. Once it sets the next slowest speed, I'll help it out with the flaps. Help it slow down. Actually, might be waiting on flaps, so let's just give it now. Just gonna use more fuel, that's all. Yeah, it was. So now it wants to go down to 200. Let's get ready for landing. Okay. Flaps 2. Setting now. This doesn't just keep dropping based on the flaps? Okay, so it doesn't necessarily want that. It's just, that's fine. Our flaps 2 are only 15 miles away from the airport. That's fine. We'll keep it at flaps 2 for now. And once we start turning in, I'll do flaps 3 and the gear. And we can do flaps full now, which is 3. We won't quite yet. Lovely view here. Let's turn on the markers here. I imagine that's the International. I'm not sure. Pearson Field. Guessing it's over there. Just powering it up to keep speed here. Looking good. I'm gonna set the full flaps now. And gear. We're just about to turn on to the final. Arm the approach to allow it to go as low as it wants. Once we're on the glide path, we are on the path still. Let's try in for 140 now. Lights are all set. Airport should be here. Yep. Flying right over the river before, which is pretty cool. So full screen the map. Actually, that doesn't help see much further, so let's split screen it, and then we have our traffic alerts just in case. Do you have traffic ahead of us here? We are on the path, okay. Light sub is armed. Set for 2000, but it approaches armed, so it should be fine. It's on VNAV. Got our landing speed in there. So Blazer, we need to be, oh, Blazer's all the way up there at 2000, okay. So I think we're okay. My Traveler's supposed to be at 2300, so I actually don't think we are. It's just doing a weird descent. Doesn't seem to want to be descending fast enough here. Let's give it some help. Let's give it some speed brake here. Alright, it's got the path, so let's turn that off. VNAV is on. Alright, we're good to go. We're good to go. Let's close that. We're on the localizer. Do a split screen here with a 1 mile range. We'll zoom this in a little bit too. 5 miles, 4 mile, okay. Alrighty. We'll ride it in on autopilot until we need to turn it off. Looking good. We got 2 and 2 right now. it down to our landing speed. About 110 knots. Alrighty. Turn the camera on for when I take over the controls. I'm still on autopilot now. Auto throttle and everything. Set for 112. Let's hide that ugly bridge where we took our screenshot. Bridge is not modeled well, or at least not loaded in right now. Yeah, so there's another airport right here. Interesting. ATC's gotta be careful about that. Lovely approach though. Looks great. We're at the lowest speed we can fly. Autopilot's doing a good job. It's right on the edge of a stall, as it should be. Coming in pretty well. It's getting a little unstable with left and right here. Getting ready to take over. Where's the throttle? About half. Turn off autopilot. Keep auto throttle though. No, I need to turn off auto throttle as well. Keep the throttle setting the same for now. Okay. My throttle's higher than the actual throttle of the plane. Just once I would change it, I'll change it quite a bit. Now, alright. The plane just reacted to what my throttle was set to. Let's bring it down. We're trying to fly at about 110 knots. Just under, but not quite yet. A bit more power. Got a long way to stop. This plane stops very well, so we don't need to be doing that. A little to the right of center. Okay. Reverse thrust. We should be doing some auto braking. The buckets are out. Not gonna be on the brakes yet because we're not making that stop anyway. I'll get on the brakes to hit the next exit if we need to. Hoping the reverse thrust just carries us all the way down. Looks like it will. So let's take off reverse thrust now. So throttle to regular thrust mode. Didn't have the spoilers armed to deploy, but that's okay as well. It said no flaps. Alright, we're good to go. It wasn't too bad. I think we flared a little bit early again, but not as early as the last time. Much, much better. Find a place to go. And we had a little bit of wiggle room on the speed. We weren't too close to a stall, so we got the stall horn but right at the end, so it was good. It was a little high, so you had to flare quite a bit at the end to make sure it didn't slam it to the ground, which does kill the airspeed, but just enough room to do it. I got lots of cars parked here. Got someone right on the taxiway, great. I guess this is the parking spot, it wasn't the main taxiway, that's my fault. Hey, it's not, I don't know the area. I'm not listening to ATC. Well, welcome to Portland, Oregon. I love the approach. Nice flying over the river like that, and the other airport we saw as well. It was cool. The river's right there. Got all the boats going by. Wait. We got all the cars going by on the river. Makes sense. Makes total sense. Got the gates up here. Huge parking structure. We'll park somewhere over here. Imagine we'll be taking off an airliner here, so of some type. Maybe one I haven't flown yet, like an A321, or it depends how far we're going. If we're going further, I'd like to use the 787. I've yet to fly that in the entire game for some reason. I don't know why. I just haven't yet, so I'd love to fly the 787. Of course, it's meant for really long range, and we'll probably use that for one of our ocean trips really later down the road, but I would like to use it in the U.S. as well. Domestically, it'll be a short flight for what the aircraft's made for, of course. Have like 5-10% fuel in it, but that's okay. It'll be fun to fly it still. As long as we're going between two international airports, I got big runways, we can take it. Again, we are trying to suit the aircraft for the distance of the flight to an extent, but also want to have fun and fly what I want to fly, so. And what you guys like seeing. Alright, there we go. Let's shut it down for the final flight. We can start at the APU with the power of one engine. Hopefully that's fine. We're going to go right to shutdown anyway. Oh, we're getting a lag anyway, so let's just do full shutdown, or whatever the stutter is. Let's just shut down the APU. Shut down the batteries.
GPWS system failure.
Alright, well, I don't know why we're getting this setting, but luckily it's now and not before. So I appreciate you guys watching the stream. Had some issues, had a little bit of a crash, but hey, we'll keep a crash counter. I'll add that to the spreadsheet at some point. It'll be funny. See how many we can do. Obviously don't aim for that, and that was a decent landing there, but it happens once in a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I really appreciate the support so far. Again, if you have any location suggestions, especially for the north part of the U.S., please throw them in the Discord. I don't want to miss them, and that's my next area. Obviously, we're going to be going all the way east across the U.S. from here, basically, hitting every state at least once, and trying to see any kind of landmarks. So if there's something you want me to fly over as well, or your home airport or something that you want me to land at, let me know. All right, appreciate it, guys. See ya.